were also hunted. At Bicknicker Priory in Essex, King Henry III even issued a royal charter for the monks to hunt cats. Stray cats were a familiar sight around monasteries. Often monks and cats would strike up special friendships. Yet when cat numbers grew too great, they were culled, and the monks were allowed to trim their cloaks with the cat's fur. Ginger cats first reached our shores with the Vikings and were popular among monks in the Celtic Church of Ireland. One Irish monk in the 9th century doted on his cat, who he called Pangoban.
I and Pangoban, my cat, 'tis a similar task we're at. Hunting mice is his delight, hunting words I sit all night. He superbly dexterous, many a time entraps the mouse. Truth elusive I pursue, sometimes I can trap her too. I am overjoyed to gain prizes hunted in the brain, while Panga glories in his skill when his claws achieve a kill. So in peace our tasks we ply, Pangoban, my cat, and I.
So medieval man and the cat lived in matter-of-fact contentment. Although the cat was no longer regarded as a god, there were lingering beliefs about its magical powers, and the legends surrounding that power have survived to this day.
I shall introduce myself. My name is Richard Whittington of Gloucester. Good cat, what, pray, is your name? You haven't got a name? Oh, dear. I know. I shall call you Tommy. Yes, that's a good name.
Today's Christmas pantomimes of Dick Whittington and Puss in Boots are based on stories that date back to medieval times.
What a magnificent specimen. Why, thank you. Oh, and such a beautiful coat. I shall just simply have to tickle his
The pantomime tells of how a poor boy rose to wealth and power as Lord Mayor of London, helped by his cat.
My name is Richard Whittington, and I've come to London to make my fortune. Your fortune? Yes. I'm going to have an ermine jacket, a velvet cloak, and a three-cornered hat. With a feather? Do you think so? Definitely. All right, with a feather.
Dick Whittington did indeed become Lord Mayor of London. But was there a magical cat? In medieval art, the cat was also a potent figure. In paintings of the Virgin Mary, it was sometimes portrayed as a symbol of her divine fertility. In others, however, it was more threatening. When the cat sits behind Judas, it's become a sign of evil. The cat hadn't changed, but as a god in ancient Egypt, it was identified with the fertility goddesses of Europe. Christianity made them all devils. As early as the 13th century, the cat was suspected of devilry. It was said to be in league with the Knights Templars, an order of fighting monks who lived in the Holy Land. When this powerful army returned to France, the king felt threatened and had them tortured as heretics. Some admitted worshipping idols shaped as black cats. Others confessed to kissing cats during religious services and renouncing Christ. But were the Templars' confessions complete nonsense, extracted under torture? They'd lived in the Middle East, where the cat cult was firmly established, and where there was still far more cats than in Europe. These noble monks, living in cloistered isolation, would have been charmed by the cat, hardly a crime to our modern eyes, but to their accusers, this was a pact with devilry. And from that time on, it became standard to accuse heretics of a connection with cats. Christina, a female Pied Piper, befriends the stray cats of Venice. Today, all over the world, such cats rely on the kindness of women who feed them. Centuries before, this kindness was a curse. Lonely or elderly women often befriended cats, and both suffered when tolerance gave way to hysterical persecution. The cats were regarded as devils, and the women accused of witchcraft. Women who clung to the old folk beliefs were seen as heretics. Cat ownership confirmed to their Christian accusers that they practiced the naked rituals of the ancient fertility religions. We now think of witches as grotesque caricatures. But for centuries, they were taken seriously and hounded by the church.
They must be burned, and the cat too should suffer the fire.
Today, witchcraft still casts its spell in modern reenactments of the trials of the victims. Cats were central to witchcraft. A cat could be a demon or the devil himself. The 16th century was a period of upheaval between Catholic and Protestant churches. But both rounded on witches and cats as outsiders. Their torment really began here, in the small Essex village of Hatfield Peveril, which was the scene of the first major witchcraft trial in England. The three witches were said to have gained their power by ownership of a black and white cat called Satan. Elizabeth Francis, Agnes Waterhouse, and her daughter Joan were accused of asking Satan to kill a neighbour, and even Mother Waterhouse's husband. Satan, it was said, could also change form. Joan Waterhouse was set free for giving evidence, while Elizabeth Francis was imprisoned. But Joan's mother was found guilty of bewitching to death and was hanged. Tainted by witchcraft, the cat's suffering lasted for centuries.
No, yeah. Yeah, we're going to burn them.
The 16th and 17th centuries were a time of unspeakable cruelty to cats. They were burned alive in their thousands. Christianity took its revenge against the old beliefs. Throughout Europe, cats were roasted in wicker baskets above bonfires to prolong their agony. To their torturers, their screams were evidence of the suffering of the devil himself. Even when the embers of witchcraft were dying down, the magic of the cat still persisted. And cats like this were walled up in houses in the 18th century as protection against the devil, evil, and also against rats, and rats were often walled up with them as well. The awful thing is, we're not really sure whether they were walled up dead or alive. But why did people persecute the cat? What was it about the cat that made the ancient Egyptians deified and medieval man treated as the devil? They both misunderstood the cat's biology. It wasn't bestowed with magical qualities, just the superb body of the supreme hunter. The cat's skull and jaws are short to increase the power of the killing bite. Its spine is flexible to let the cat increase its stride during the chase. The teeth are those of the carnivorous killer. To the cat's persecutors, its shining eyes were evidence of demonic power. In reality, they allowed the night-hunting cat to see the nocturnal mouse. The cat family evolved among forests where there's very little light at night, so the cat's vision is 6 times more sensitive than ours. The cat's eyes have a layer of crystal mirrors behind them that reflect even the smallest amount of light back into the retina. There's no magic here, just evidence of the evolution of the perfect predator in search of its prey. The cat's predatory behavior has always been the same. What changed was the perception of people towards this solitary hunter of the night. But the most striking misunderstanding of the cat by its worshippers and persecutors alike was the way it mated. A female cat on heat attracts a number of suitors, and her multiple matings were thought in Tudor times to be a sign of ungodliness. The caterwauling between competing males for this promiscuous female were all signs of the supernatural. The mating itself was the most misunderstood. A 17th century writer described the male as having seed so fiery hot it burneth the female places of conception. The truth is hardly less dramatic. When mating takes place, the male's withdrawal will make her spit and scream. That's caused by barbs on his penis, but they're what trigger the release of her eggs. So the eggs aren't fertilized on this first mating. Now it's the turn of toms from other areas, which helps avoid inbreeding. But little wonder medieval man thought her lustful. In contrast, the dog has always been man's best friend, whether out hunting or working. That's ironic, because when the cat shows affection, it's being truly friendly. Yet the dog's display of loyalty and affection is largely a display of subservience to us as pack leader. The dependable dog has always been thought trustworthy, the cat despised as a dark spirit. Yet both are hostage to their biological backgrounds. Dogs are descended from wolves who hunt as a pack. They have a leader just as dogs have man. Cats hunt alone. The dog family evolved in open countryside. The cat in forest. The wolf pack is a hierarchy, with the team hunting for a single animal to pull down from a herd. The cat stalks and kills its prey alone. Devil or divinity, the domestic cat has been misunderstood for centuries, the most powerful and persecuted of animals. But it's our view of this creature that has altered through the ages. The unchanging cat has not changed at all.